morning, team. It's Tuesday, October 4th, and we're beginning Q4 of 2022. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Coffee with Amy and Kevin. I'm Kevin Van Eck. Amy will be back next week, so don't worry. We're going to get started. We're going to talk about something we talked about last week. So last week, as part of multiplying your outreach, we mentioned handwritten notes. Now, some of us are really good at them. Some of us are not so great at them. Some of us haven't done one in years. So we're going to talk through the importance of handwritten notes and a simple way to make sure you can write them. So first, when we talk about handwritten notes, why are handwritten notes important? Well, handwritten notes make a difference because, number one, they're thoughtful. So when someone gets a handwritten note from you, when you have taken the time to write it out, to address the envelope, to put a stamp on it, mail it, that takes effort. So it's far more gratifying for the receiver than if you just send an email or a text. A card means something. The second piece of why a card, a handwritten note specifically, is so impactful is because it's tangible. It's something that people can hold. It's physical. They can hold it in their hands, and especially depending on the stock or the type of card, it can make a big difference. But the third reason why handwritten notes are so impactful is that it's different. Most people do not receive many handwritten notes, if at all, rarely frequently. So think about the last time you received a handwritten note, and I want you to think about how it made you feel. Well, that's the way that we want to make the people who you're sending cards to, that's the way we want to make them feel too. So handwritten notes are a big differentiator because they're tangible, because they're thoughtful and take time and effort, and the recipient recognizes that, even if it's subconscious. And the third reason is because it's different, because everyone is not sending each other handwritten notes all the time. It stands out. So how do you write handwritten notes consistently? Here, make a simple goal. Don't get crazy and try to do 5 a day, 10 a day, 20 a week, whatever it might be. Start with maybe 1 a day, Monday through Friday, 5 cards a week. That is going to have a huge impact. If you do the math on that over a year, even if you only do it, say, 50 weeks out of the year, 5 cards a week, that's a huge number of cards. It's a large number of making sure you're making people feel good. So that's the frequency that I would recommend to start with while you create a habit. Do 1 a day. Make that the goal. Then let's talk about who you write cards to. So we often get asked, well, who do I write cards to? Do I just go down the roster? Well, there's 2 ways to do this. Last week, we talked about maximizing your outreach. So if you're going to call someone or see someone for coffee or dinner or lunch or drinks or whatever it might be, great. Follow up with a text and then a handwritten note. So if you are seeing people or interacting with people, which we all are in some way, then sending a handwritten note after is really simple. You don't need to take a lot of time to think about it. And then the second way, or who you can write to determine who you're going to send a card to, is really by just whoever comes to mind. Who comes to mind, send them a card. And it can be anybody. For example, I sent a Starbucks barista a card because I saw that person quite frequently for a period of time at my neighborhood Starbucks. It wasn't with the goal of getting business. It was with the goal of making someone feel good. Now, did that have an impact? I don't know, but it made me feel good, and I know it made the other person feel good. So writing a card to whoever comes to mind also makes it really simple. Just every morning think, who did I see? Who did I talk with yesterday? Who comes to mind? And send them a card. And then the third and final step in doing this is, what do you actually say? What do you say when you're handwriting a note? Because you might be, writer's block, sitting there with your cards, sitting there trying to figure out what you're going to say. Again, don't make it about business. Make it about making someone feel good. So there's 3 things you can say in a card. The first is the simple one, thank you. Thank you for a great evening. Thank you for a great conversation at breakfast. Thank you for taking the time to meet. Thank yous are really simple. Number 2, congrats. Congrats can be anything. So it can be something as basic as congrats on your new baby. Congrats on the new puppy. Congrats on your daughter finishing college. Congrats on you finishing a project or a new job. Those ones are really simple to pick up, but go beyond that. How else can you congratulate somebody? You can make it fun. Congrats on winning the chili cook-off. Congrats on really anything. Pay attention to social media. This is where you can get a lot of those from. And then the third is just thinking of you. So just thinking of you. What does that mean? Well, I was driving down your street the other day, or I was in your neighborhood, or a song came on, I saw a movie, I thought of something, and it reminded me of you. I hope you're doing well. Let's grab a coffee soon. and we'll talk soon. Do you see? So now just thinking of you, while it sounds maybe a little bit awkward at the beginning, it's not if you tie it to a memory or a good feeling or a good moment that you had with that person. And if you do these things, if you do one card a day, 5 days a week for 50 weeks out of the year, you're gonna make a lot of people feel great. And I want you to ask yourself, if you sent that number of cards, even if you sent half of that number of cards, do you think it would have an impact on the way that people feel about you? And then also have an impact on your business because you're making people feel good. You're attracting people to you. They want to talk with you. They want to be around people that make them feel good. And now you're doing that for them. So think about that this week. Let us know in the comments about cards and the impact you think it's had. And also hit that like button. If this means something to you, hit the like button, share this with another agent. And a lot of what I've talked about today comes from Ninja Selling. We're hosting a Ninja installation here in Chicago coming up in November. You can go to @propertiesninja.com. That's atpropertiesninja.com. And you can see the detail and registration there. And no matter where you are in the United States, encourage you to take a look. And if you can join us in late November for the Ninja installation, I guarantee it'll be worth the investment, worth your time, and it'll be a great trip to Chicago. And until next week, when Amy's back, you've got this.